So yeah, beautiful people, introducing to you guys a new trading solution. So with this solution, it was developed because of most traders or 90% of the traders are not profitable and only 10% is. After years of trading and not seeing any form of profits, I got to actually understand the reason behind why was I not proceeding forward, right? Which is why I have actually built this solution here. So with this solution, what you are going to be getting is the following things, right? You are going to be getting supply and demand as our full course, risk management plan, chart layout, trading psychology, and lastly, which is the red print. The course has a minimum of 3.5 hours, 14 lessons all in all, and then it's only gonna cost you $60, right? One of the key things that I like about this solution is that, or this course specifically, is that it helps you to understand who you are, right? One of the key things that most traders do not understand is that trading is basically, or technical trading specifically, it's identification of a pattern, right, that has a specific win rate, which means now with this pattern, which is going to be our supply and demand, what are we going to be doing? We are going to take this and add what? And add the risk management plan next to it, which means now with that pattern that is occurring several times within the market, we want to be able to do what? To know the strength and weakness of that pattern. We want to know who we are as traders. We want to have the plan on how we are going to actually be executing this plan. What is our risk to reward ratio behind this thing? And what exactly is risk management, right? And then after that, we are going to be adding the psychology, which means I'm going to help you trade from what you call a carefree state of mind, right? Which means every single thing that you're going to do, you're going to do it from a carefree state of mind, meaning that you are going to be executing each and every single trade effortlessly without even questioning it or having anything behind it, right? So now, since we are going to be trading from a carefree state of mind, this means that him is going to be what? Is going to be um, what we refer to as a trading from a probabilistic mindset, which means that your trading is going to be based off what? Risk to reward ratio, probabilities, which is basically statistics, right? So if you want to understand or elevate your trading style, make sure that you get yourself one of these so that you can actually see the light at the end of the tunnel. Man, the year's coming to an end. Most of you guys are asking yourself how to become profitable. Believe me, I've produced a lot of students from this thing, and I have um, a lot of them actually succeeding, right? Other than that, I'm looking forward to seeing you and happy trading. So yeah, guys, moving on. Most of you guys have been asking me that, Dumelo JPY, which broker did you use? I use the largest broker in the world, which is Exness. I have my own reasons, guys, why I chose to trade with Exness. It is because of my trading style or my trading system or red print. It allows or it wants me to use Exness. Why? Because of Exness offers me with ultra fast execution, as you guys can see here. They also give me instant withdrawals and instant deposit with the best gold trading spread. And then one of the key things that I like is that since some of the trades that I take, they might require me to hold them overnight. This means that there won't be overnight fees. But now, how do you actually get to what do you call this thing? Set your trading account. So here are several steps that you need to follow. Firstly, make sure that you register, or if you already have an account, register, and then get yourself verified. And then if you already have an account, make sure that you sign in, and then you create a standard account. And then you are firstly going to start with 1:2,000 leverage. I trade with an MT5 account. And then minimum deposit, make sure that you deposit roughly from 190 Rand, which is roughly $10 or 170, $10, right? Going up. And then do exactly as I'm gonna say on this video here. And then believe me, you man, there are going to be some changes in your trading life. And one thing I like about Xness is that they are transparent. They make sure that they cater their clients with the best service. And click the link below if you want to join the winning team. So yeah, good people. Let's start with today's video. We are firstly going to be starting with US30. I know it's been a while since I've made any form of market breakdown. Sorry about that, but yeah, let's move on. By now, we all can see that okay, USDT has been on a bully structure. Why? Because of we've been impulsing and correcting to the upside, right? Impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulsive movement, right? So which means that okay, we are now anticipating a possible correctional movement to the downside, right? So now, if we were to zoom in here, we can see that okay, this guy is still bullish, right? And then we have this untested area here, which means price has not yet tested this area here, right? So I'm gonna do something that is a bit different from what I've been doing for the past few times that I've posted most of my videos, guys, right? So yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is one of the most famous patterns, right, which is called a cipher pattern, right? So with this, we can see that okay, price is doing what gave us an impulse correction, a big impulsive movement, which means we might be anticipating a correctional movement to a possible demand found here, and then we might continue pushing to the upside, right? We might be pushing to the upside. So yeah, for those of you guys that know this pattern, you will correct me if I am making mistakes. But then one thing that I know is that like A and X, it's a range, and then with this one it's gonna be B. B must be in between 38 and 61. As you guys can see, it's still playing around this area here, and then it then goes on and says that okay, for you to have leg C, right? Your leg C needs to be from 127, right? Roughly run about 127, right? 127, which means now with this impulsive movement, price might come to this area here before giving us that correctional movement to the 78.6, I believe, right? Before 78.6, yeah, around this area here, right? So this means that okay, price before it comes to this area here might turn around that area there and then push to the downside to this area, right? Those of you guys that are interested in trading harmonic patterns, make sure that you go check them out on YouTube. But if you need the direct information, make sure that you text me with a registered Access account so that I can give you the simplest or the simplified course of harmonic patterns, which means now we are going to be anticipating this thing. Does this thing align with what we are talking about? Let's go to 1 day time frame and check, right? So like I said, there's the demand. You can see that the 76.8 is still aligning with this untested demand area here, right? So now what we are going to be doing now is that we are going to be looking for buying opportunities within these areas here. But all in all, one thing that we can all agree on is that this demand area here will be our point of interest, right? It's going to be our point of interest, which means we are going to be looking for buying opportunities on this level here. So which means if you were to plot your harmonics, this is what you might get, right? So this is what you will probably have after. So 127 is somewhere around that area here, 140, 127. Right, and then you're gonna have one of your areas here. Right, let's just make sure that everything is making sense. Right, so 127 is somewhere around this area here. Yesterday should give us that retracement. Right, should give us that retracement that we're looking for. Right, which means we are going to be looking for selling opportunities somewhere around this area here. And then we are going to be looking for buying opportunities somewhere within this area here. So we're gonna have something like this on our analysis. Right, we are going to be having something like this on our analysis, right, on US30, right? So this is our current US30 analysis, and then let's go check the rest of the pairs. One of the pairs that I've actually seen that is quite clear in terms of direction and everything is what do you call it? GER30. GER30 has been bullish for the longest time. If you check on your 3-day time frame, right, you'll see that okay, this guy here has been bullish for the longest time. Why? Because there was this impulse correction, a big impulsive movement, which led to a big correctional movement before a huge impulsive movement I'll always and still recommend you guys to make sure that you check your bigger time frames every single time you analyze, because of it's the one that is going to help you to understand the price movement, right? As you can see, that the reason why price turned, it was because of what? This demand area here, which means from here, price continued to be bullish for days, right? Which means now what you are going to be doing from this area here is that you're going to be looking for buying opportunities while price is impulsing to the upside until you go and eliminate this area here, right? If you have time, you can do that just to back test it and get yourself used to it, because of with every impulsive movement within the markets, there must be the same overall structure pattern within this area here, right? So yeah, only if you will understand what I'm talking about, if you've been mentored by me, probably. But for the past few weeks, what I've seen and what I have actually noticed from most of my students is that they've managed to catch this demand area here on GER30, right? So there was a demand area that they managed to catch. But other than that, what we all can see is that with this guy being bullish, as I've mentioned, right, we have an impulse correction, possible demand, impulse, possible demand, impulse, possible demand, right? Impulse correction, it retraces big, gives us a possible demand, and then we have what? That impulsive movement to the upside, which means now, how did they go about, or how did they actually get to understand where price was going to retrace specifically? It was because of there was an untested demand area here. So with this untested demand, price tapped into our demand, and then it impulsed beautifully so to the upside. Guys, note that this thing of us writing BOS, strong low, strong high, blah, 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 it no longer works, man. We just put one horizontal line and we are done with everything, right? Even at this area here, you can see that after the impulsive movement, price retraced back to a demand area, and then it did what? It continued pushing to the upside. But if you want to do more of scaling, right, I'd always advise you to go to a smaller time frame just for you to understand what is it that the market is offering you, right? With this one, we saw that when it, what time frame was that? It was a 2 hour. We are supposed to have taken our trade around this area here, which it missed. Also here, we are supposed to have executed a trade, which it has missed also, right? And then let's check around here also. There must be a form of demand area that price was held by, right? But it's quite consolidative, so it's going to be difficult for us to identify our demand area properly. But yeah, say maybe there is a demand area here or the one below, right? There might have been a demand area that price had to tap into. Even at this area here, price might actually probably retrace back to this area to come tap into it, right? So which means that when we have an impulsive movement, price will retrace, impulsive movement, price will retrace, impulsive movement, price will retrace to a demand area until it eliminates the main high, right? So this is trading simplified for us. Lastly, let's check gold. Gold has been bullish for days, man. Gold has been bullish for days, as you guys can see that. I probably had a setup here. I probably had a setup here, right? Right, quite clean, not difficult, simple, 20-hour trade. Let's just remove everything and go to maybe a 1 day time frame. Gold has been creating all-time highs for days, man. I started taking gold serious. I've been participating in this gold movement. So this was my first buy actually. This was my first buy on gold, right? My first buy was somewhere around this area here. Sorry about that. My first buy was somewhere around this area here. My second buy was somewhere around this area here. And then here I took a lot of losses here because of the market was too consolidative, right? And then we were also waiting for this demand area, which price never came into. And then I started participating from then till this whole area here, right? So this were my two clean trades, which means these were my A setups, right? And then here I took losses because of price didn't have the proper direction. I bought here, gave me some profits, took me out, and then it finally took the direction. But the fact that the low was not eliminated, it showed that the buyers are still in control. But with this guy creating these movements like this, right? My advice to you guys is that the best thing you can do is to keep swinging every daily candle if you can, right? Keep looking for buying opportunities on this guy. But as you can see, it gives us an impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse, which means you might have a possible correctional movement before we pass to the upside. But note that every correctional movement, there's a possible demand area that price might be going to, right? So him, in terms of direction, he doesn't offer us a proper direction, right? There's, like I said, the best thing you can do is just to move with him to the upside, right? When you get these movements like this, you need to take advantage of them. Impulse correction, you see this big correctional movement. If there is a demand here, you swing along, right? Gives us an impulse correction. They didn't tap into this area, correction impulse. There is a demand here, impulse correction. There is a possible, okay, there is no demand here because the demand that I was looking for was somewhere around this area here. So even with this one, if he is to drop, he'll probably drop his possible area of a demand area here before he impulse to the upside, right? Because of with him creating all-time highs like this, it becomes difficult for most traders to actually trade because of he might not be presenting any setups. But if you switch to smaller time frames, you'll exactly see what I'm talking about. There are a lot of setups that the market keeps giving us while this guy's impulsing to the upside. For example, there was this one here, right? This is a 20-hour trade. While you are waiting, price is moving a lot of pips, right? There are another one here. There are other setups here, as you can see. Right, this one price missed, unfortunately. If price tapped into this area, this was gonna be another setup. Right, there are a lot of setups that price might be retracing back to. This one also price might have, if price dropped to the downside to it was gonna be another setup. These areas here. So these are the areas that you should actually start investing most of your time on. But let me not talk a lot and bore you guys. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Ladies and gentlemen, my videos are educational, right? My videos are educational. I build them to help you improve whatever that you're using to trade, right? Why? Because of some of you guys are still using SMC, which I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it has a lot of information. The best way to go about everything is just to simplify things, man. I moved from drawing weak highs, weak lows, doing decoration to just throwing one single line that I know that is my demand, right? So that is my goal, simplifying things as hard as I can so that my concept can be simple. If you have problems, keep it to yourself, man, right? Negative comments, keep them to yourself because they're not gonna do us any good. Those that wanna learn, keep watching. Those that don't want, yeah. But if you watch the video till the end, hope I'm grateful. Make sure that you hit that like, subscribe. If you're interested in the mentorship, join the mentorship. And I'm looking forward to chopping the market with you guys. Goodbye.